To get the news your way, go straight to the source.
Whether it's happening in your neighbourhood, across the country or around the world.
Stay in the know with Australia's most trusted news source.
Download the app or head to the website.
Tonight, here comes the rain. Forget a white Christmas. Darwin is looking forward to a wet Christmas. Good evening, I'm Kyle Dowling. This is ABC News, Northern Territory. Also tonight, one of the heroes shot in the Bondi terror attack heads home from hospital. Till bells ringing, but is the Christmas rush at the shops enough to help struggling retailers? Australia names its Boxing Day squad as Pat Cummins is ruled out of the 4th Ashes test. And Santa's got no hope of missing Darwin with homes lit up like this. We visit the top end's best light displays. Rivers and streams are on the rise as a monsoon gathers strength, with big rains possible for Christmas Day in Darwin. The wet's expected arrival comes a month after Cyclone Fina rattled the city as the clean-up from that system continues.
A wet and woolly Christmas could be in the stocking for top-enders.
Christmas Day, we're likely to see those showers and storms persisting and maybe even some rain. So if you're planning anything, planning lunch, I'd plan it undercover.
A monsoon strengthens as a tropical low makes its way across the Territory outback. Prospects of a soggy Christmas not dampening the spirit of those in the capital.
Won't affect me too much, I don't reckon. I'm not scared of water.
It'd be nice to, cool off and have the kids outside, just a nice Aussie Christmas with family. It'll be lovely.
When you just lying down on the sofa and then the raining outside is very, very romantic.
Further south, in towns like Katherine, residents are watching the river levels, while flood watches are in place in the Barkly and eastern parts of the Carpentaria district.
We could see significant stream rises through that area, and we're keeping a very close eye on, particularly MacArthur River, where we do have a flood warning service for Bowloola.
In Alice Springs, chances are for a Christmas Day scorcher.
So we are seeing those temperatures in the high 30s, maybe sort of nudging 40, but generally we're going to have sunny conditions for the holiday period.
The monsoon forecast comes a month after Cyclone Fina impacted Darwin, with the City Council today confirming that system damaged more than 4,000 trees, with over 1,000 needing to be removed. The Bureau says there's no immediate risk of another cyclone in the Territory, and Santa Claus's journey to the tropics shouldn't be affected.
Santa's weatherproof.
If the monsoon settles in, the Bureau says it could usher out 2025 with a damp few days ahead. Matt Garrick, ABC News.
The Northern Territory's recently overhauled bail laws will be challenged in the High Court on the grounds they are unlawful and amount to punishment without trial. Tough changes to bail were rushed through NT Parliament in May, following the fatal stabbing of Darwin supermarket owner Linford Fyke, who was allegedly attacked by a man who was on bail. The North Australian Aboriginal Justice Agency filed a challenge to bail laws in the High Court this afternoon, arguing they effectively jail people who have not been found guilty of an offence. Local businesses are urging Sydney-siders to return to Bondi more than a week after the terror attack. Security at major events is also in the spotlight, with Sydney's famous New Year's Eve fireworks fast approaching.
As shots rang out on December 14, workers at this Bondi cafe stepped up, shielding victims as they fled for their lives.
Our first kind of instinct was to pull people into the restaurant, close the doors, get in the kitchen, and just make sure everyone's safe as possible.
More than a week on, there are signs life is slowly returning to normal.
This place was giving out free coffees the morning after it happened, and they were here supporting the community. So, yeah, it's nice to be down here and supporting back.
It's about supporting them, but it's also about us also, getting back into the rhythms of life.
The state and federal governments have jointly funded $25,000 grants to help affected businesses stay afloat. But with Christmas right around the corner, they're pleading with locals to keep showing up.
Have a coffee, have a food, get a haircut, go to the pub and get a pint. Our businesses will greatly appreciate it.
New Year's Eve fireworks have been cancelled in Bondi, but the state government says Sydney-siders should expect an increased police presence both here and around the harbour.
The police will work closely with the community. They already have a great relationship with the local councils there, and they will absolutely be working hand in glove with them and making sure that they have the resources they need.
In Sydney's north, grandmother Marika Pogany was farewelled. The shooting victim was known for her kindness and laughter. And after a week in a medically induced coma, Constable Scott Dyson has woken up. Probationary Constable Jack Hibbert has also been discharged from hospital. The 22-year-old's family says having him home for Christmas feels like a miracle.
Despite the tragedies of the last few days, this is heaven on earth, and nothing's going to stop us from enjoying our community and our locals.
Defiance in the face of unbearable loss. Victoria Pengilly, ABC News, Sydney.
Laws restricting protests and gun ownership being rushed through Parliament in New South Wales in the wake of the Bondi terror attacks is set to be challenged in court. During a late-night sitting, the bill passed the New South Wales lower house 59 votes to 15. The laws impose a limit of 4 firearms per owner and licence renewals every 2 years. Rules would also allow police to restrict protests from happening for up to 3 months if there's been a terror incident. But opponents say they will mount a Supreme Court challenge if the law comes into force, claiming it would restrict freedoms and the right to protest.
What we are witnessing is the Minns government seeking to introduce laws that will represent the single most aggressive assault on our civil liberties in living memory.
We're confident these laws will withstand a constitutional challenge.
And a prayer hall associated with notorious Islamic preacher Wissam Haddad in Western Sydney will be shut down. The City of Canterbury Bankstown Council says the centre had only received approval to operate as a medical centre and has issued a directive for it to be closed. One of the alleged Bondi gunmen, Naveed Akram, 24, was allegedly a follower of his preachings as a teenager. There is no suggestion of wrongdoing by Haddad in relation to the attack, and he has said it is misleading to describe Akram as a follower. Family members of federal politicians will no longer be able to fly business class under sweeping changes proposed after expenses scandals. The Prime Minister has referred advice from the independent watchdog to the Remuneration Tribunal, which will finalise the rule changes in the new year. Here's political reporter Romy Stevens.
Politicians' spending of taxpayer money under scrutiny. The Prime Minister now signalling a shift.
We have recommended a number of changes.
Those changes relate to rules governing family reunion travel entitlements, which came under fire after Sports Minister Annika Wells charged taxpayers for her family to travel to sporting events and a Thredbo ski resort while she worked.
I'm confident that I have upheld the guidelines at all times.
The controversy led to Attorney General Michelle Rowland repaying some expenses, and the Prime Minister sought advice from the independent watchdog. That will now be considered by the Remuneration Tribunal.
I do not have the power at a stroke of a pen to change entitlements. The Rem Tribunal have the power.
Under the recommended changes, family members would be restricted to economy class flights and taxpayer-funded travel outside of Canberra would be mostly banned. But partners of senior politicians would be able to travel to events directly linked to portfolios. The government's also asking for careful consideration to be given to new mothers and fathers.
We will work with the government once we see the details of these changes. The opposition is disappointed that the Prime Minister once again has talked about bipartisanship, but 2 days before Christmas is bringing out the dirty washing.
The government had been poised to announce the recommendations over a week ago, but that plan was derailed by the shocking Bondi terror attack. The changes today an acknowledgement the old rules are no longer fit for purpose. Romy Stevens, ABC News, Canberra.
With the countdown to Christmas well and truly underway, Territorians are hitting the shops as part of the festive rush. While some businesses say the season is unfolding as expected, providing a broader snapshot of trading conditions and consumer confidence in the lead up to the big day.
A familiar seasonal rush, filling shops territory-wide.
We just buy like a small gift for everyone, but it's like a Secret Santa, so like a plant or like a voucher, or like we make some cake for our Christmas party.
I just did it today, and I've done a bit last week. So I've got this crocodile inflatable toy.
Dowling residents are busy snapping up local products ahead of the big day.
Most people like big plate fish, you know, something to serve, something to present on the table. So lots of whole, fresh, local snappers, really.
Socks and undies are always a great gift. So if you are not sure what to buy someone that you love, then socks and undies are always welcome.
The Christmas rush, badly needed for retailers doing it tough.
Personally, it's been a little bit on the quieter side. There's been a few factors to consider when you're looking at why I haven't traded that well.
It's always been busy during Christmas time, and a lot of people come into House of Darwin to buy gifts for family and friends and partners and all of that. So it's a really big hotspot for Christmas shoppers.
The Australian Retail Association believes cost of living pressures are shaping how people spend.
It's been a challenging year for many Northern Territory retailers, with many Australians still watching their budgets very closely in this cost of living crisis. We're encouraging Northern Territorians to back the brands that back Australia this peak season and through the holiday period, and that means really paying attention to those local retailers.
And if you still haven't started your Christmas shopping,
I think you need to hurry up because, yes, it is last minute. And if it rains tomorrow, please don't let it rain tomorrow, then, that's just going to make it a little more difficult for you. So get in quickly and take the pressure off yourself.
Giving a gift to loved ones and our local shops. Anzaya Karim, ABC News, Darwin.
Alice Springs Disability Enterprise has partnered with Australia Post to deliver mail across the centre's town camps, and they're busy ahead of Christmas supporting people with disability with training and employment.
A mail service with a twist. Local disability enterprise Bindi partnering with Australia Post to collect, sort and deliver to one of 18 small communities in Alice Springs known as town camps.
We've got Narrapeta, Counter Camp, Ndapa.
Teresa Johnston is one of the organisation's supported employees.
I feel satisfaction that I deliver the mail to the camp. Then at the end of the day, it's good, really good,
Town camps are small Aboriginal communities in and around towns in the NT. 2 days a week, the team pick up mail from the post office and take it to Bindi before delivery.
They've got to sort it into the town camps, then into the streets and then into the numbers on the street. And it takes a team, it takes a little while to get through all of that.
And they're definitely busier this week.
Excited, that Christmas time is coming.
An inclusive mail service, posting joy to all.
Thank you.
Elsie Lange, ABC News, Alice Springs.
Navy ships in the US haven't been spared from President Trump's renaming streak, with the Commander-in-Chief unveiling a new series of battleships named after himself. The announcement came as the US President ratchets up military pressure on Venezuela, ordering another deadly strike on a vessel allegedly trafficking drugs.
Pitched as a plan to cement US naval dominance.
Wow, it's beautiful. They'll help maintain American military supremacy, revive the American shipbuilding industry, and inspire fear in America's enemies all over the world.
New Trump-class battleships will eventually boost US sea power as the current fleet steps up efforts to intercept Venezuelan-linked oil tankers in the Caribbean Sea, seizing a second one in international waters 2 days ago and in pursuit of a third.
It's moving along, and will end up getting it. Yeah, we're actually pursuing it. Can you imagine? Because it came from the wrong location. It came out of Venezuela, and it was sanctioned.
The Trump administration's 4-month pressure campaign on the Maduro government began with strikes against suspected drug vessels in the Caribbean, but the president has not ruled out taking action on land.
Venezuela reaffirms its vocation for peace, but also declares with absolute clarity that it is prepared to defend its sovereignty.
The escalating tensions prompting this warning from China.
The arbitrary detention of vessels from other nations by the US side constitutes a serious violation of international law.
The United Nations Security Council will meet in New York tomorrow after President Maduro formally requested an urgent meeting to address what he calls ongoing US aggression.
He could do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
Mounting pressure and uncertainty.
Thank you very much.
Rachel Clayton, ABC News, Washington.
Chris Rea, best known for his festive hit Driving Home for Christmas, has died at the age of 74.
Driving home for Christmas.
The English singer-songwriter released 25 studio albums and sold more than 40 million records worldwide in a career spanning 5 decades. Driving Home for Christmas was written during a snowy journey and became a seasonable staple after its release in 1986. Rea's family says he died peacefully in hospital after a short illness. Australians are finishing the year much like they started it, with rising house prices and inflation pressures on the household budget. But as Alan Kohler explains, 2025 was a year of great change and when one technology started to reshape lives and the economy.
It's Christmas on Thursday, so let's review the year in economics. In Australia, the economy is doing fine, thanks to 3 rate cuts that also sent the average house price above $1 million for the first time and took a housing affordability to a record level of bad, with the average price 8.2 times average household income. Strong population growth also helped in pushing house prices higher and helped produce economic growth of 2%. But if you divide that by the number of people, per capita GDP growth in the September quarter was 0. Total economic growth used to average 3% with less population growth, but it's less than that now because of weaker productivity. Over the past 2 years, GDP per hours worked has fallen 1.5%. But look, you've heard all this before. 2025 was more of the same old stuff. Housing affordability worse, productivity no better, economic growth okay, but stuck. Something needs to happen. And you know what? Something did happen. Not here, in America and China, but we're in it too. 2025 will go down as the year that adoption of artificial intelligence took off and the world began to change. It's also when the 8 big US AI companies started spending and being worth serious money. As a result, a lot of people are now saying it's a bubble about to crash. But while it does look pretty bubbly, it's still a fair way off matching the internet bubble of the 1990s. But perhaps most important of all in the long term, this is also the year when China passed America in AI. And not just in AI really, but in technology and engineering more generally. And then, in September, this book was published about the prospect and the dangers of super intelligent AI, which is definitely not what you want because with everything going on, plus Donald Trump upending the global trading system along with American politics, you wouldn't be dead for quids. I just can't wait for 2026.
To Finance Now, and Daniel Ziffer explains how the Reserve Bank is openly discussing the potential for interest rates to rise in 2026. In minutes released today, it flags concerns about rising prices.
Renowned party pooper, the Reserve Bank, dropped its Christmas single today. Minutes of the most recent Monetary Policy Board meeting, saying members were concerned about an upward trend in inflation which could be persistent and that the economy could have excess demand because financial conditions weren't restrictive enough. Now, decoded, If prices keep rising faster than the 2 to 3% target band that the RBA wants inflation held to, interest rates will need to go higher to try and take that heat out of the economy. Given that the RBA has hiked and cut interest rates 13 times each in the past decade, and it's only kept inflation in the band where it wants it just 20% of the time, it might be that just using that tool to control inflation isn't enough. Gold isn't on holiday yet, rewriting the record books again. US indices remained on a winning streak as the year winds down, and there was muddled trading in our Aussie dollar. Shares in our biggest bank leapt today after it had a charitable transformation, returning $68 million in fees it had charged 2.2 million low-income and vulnerable customers who should have been in low or no-fee accounts. It takes the amount the Commonwealth Bank has returned to $93 million. Very welcome, but still substantially short of the $270 million the regulator found they had profited from the practice. Ebenezer Scrooge changed his ways on Christmas Eve, meaning there's still time. And that's finance.
Australia is set for a new-look Ashes bowling attack, with skipper Pat Cummins ruled out for the rest of the series. He joins injured spinner Nathan Lyon on the sidelines, putting some familiar faces in the frame for a Boxing Day berth.
He's taken 6 wickets and won the Ashes. Now his job is done.
He's pulled up fine. He won't play any part in the rest of the series. To position him for further risk and jeopardise him long term is not something that we want to do.
The skipper isn't the only one. Nathan Lyon's season is over. He had surgery on his torn hamstring this morning.
He's pretty shattered. He's facing a long recovery.
In the frame to front a new-look bowling attack on Boxing Day, a Western Australian speedster, Jai Richardson, and Victorian spinner, Todd Murphy, who's a chance to play on his home deck.
Spoke to Toddy this morning, really excited for him to be back around the group. And yeah, we've got some decisions to make. I just had a look at the wicket then and, you know, do we play a spinner, don't we play a spinner?
I think the biggest challenge for us is we don't get deterioration. It's not a big spinning wicket here.
Steve Smith is also back in the nets and set to return after missing the last test because of dizziness, with McDonald hinting Usman Khawaja will retain his spot after he scored 122 runs in Adelaide.
He's still a good player.
Which suggests Cameron Green or Josh Inglis could get dropped. Those conversations are to come. For now, McDonald is still revelling and reeling from his newfound T-shirt fame.
He's pretty cheeky. He's a cheeky individual and no one's safe in our change room.
The same could be said for the England change room. There are increasing calls to sack coach Brendan McCullum and damaging reports that team members drank excessively during their recent break in Noosa. David Mark, ABC News.
While the Super Maxis are dominating the headlines for this year's Sydney to Hobart yacht race, a small amateur sailing crew on board a yacht called the Clockwork is quietly preparing for its third voyage south. But this time there's a new unexpected face on board helping to guide its journey.
Paddy Whelan has spent a lifetime dreaming of the Sydney to Hobart yacht race. A chance encounter is set to make that dream a reality.
I spent all of my younger years looking at all the guys flying out here from home, and being part of that is once in a lifetime opportunity for guys like me.
The concierge here at the CYCA had some sailors wanting a ride, and thank our lucky stars, Paddy was one of those people.
Unlike the Super Maxis that dominate the sea with sophisticated navigation systems and crews of more than 20, the little crew on the Clockwork has always had one simple motto.
We're going to follow Australia until there's no Australia, find Australia again, keep going, keep Australia on the right, and then turn right and go to Hobart.
We've got chart plotter, which is our sort of primary source of not hitting anything.
But for the first time, the Clockwork will have its very own navigator.
Doing the navigation side this time is going to be super exciting because, there might be some interesting holes and opportunities there that we can take advantage of.
While the Super Maxis are tipped to take the major honours, the Clockwork has an eye on winning its own race for the second year running.
We've got our own Sydney 38 division, 7 boats that are one design, no handicap between us. It's first over the line, so it's a sprint all the way there.
So this is a bed.
The crew of 10 is confined to tight quarters for the 4-day journey and has made it their mission to raise awareness for those living rough.
Part of our journey is being partnered with Orange Sky. They're an amazing charity that look after people doing it tough and living rough.
It may not be the fastest, but this small but perfectly formed crew will certainly be looking to make a big splash. Pekua Frimpong, ABC News, Sydney.
London has got a new Banksy mural for Christmas this year. The artwork above a row of garages in West London shows 2 children lying down and looking at the sky. The notoriously secretive artist is known for drawing on social commentary through his murals. A second identical artwork was also spotted beneath a tower in the middle of the city. 2 young faces looking up, showing a child's hope of what the new year may bring. It's that time of the year again when homes across the top end get decked out in wonderful displays of Christmas lights. For many houses, it's been a years-long tradition, and this year they proved not even a cyclone was going to stop them.
It was the week before Christmas, and all across Darwin, crowds of people are stirring at bright, shiny houses. Another humid top-end night hasn't stopped hundreds of kids, and kids at heart, from exploring one of Darwin's favourite Christmas wonderlands on Charles Street in Stewart Park.
I like it because everyone enjoys Christmas.
I like Santa.
What do you like about Santa?
Yeah. I like him riding the radius and I like playing in the snow.
A few suburbs away, this house on Kestrel Street in Wallagi is a relative newcomer to the Christmas lights scene. It's got plenty of Christmas classics, presents, snow and Santas galore, and of course some all-important territory touches.
It's sort of grown over the last 3 years. We started off with one Santa and look at it now.
In that time, it's become a very merry addition for kids living nearby.
Outside every night I just see this amazing display of lights and it's lovely.
I love seeing it and it's also delightful.
This home on Bellamax Leary Street is another festive favourite, featuring dinosaurs, a massive assortment of twinkling lights and even some handmade decorations.
I always start very early, around June, but I do 2 hours a day and take a rest, then come back whenever I have free time.
Now there's a spectrum when it comes to Christmas lights. You might start off with something small, maybe just a couple in the window, or you might go a little bit more and get tens of thousands of different lights all over your house. Or you might go the next level and get one massive big inflatable. No matter what's on display, the reason for doing it is often the same.
Just for the public, especially when the kids comes in and they're happy about it. You feel happy, you know what I mean?
4 kids, 8 grandkids, so I guess it's our little bit because they're not here, so we do it for everybody else's.
Lighting up the territory with plenty of Christmas cheer. Mitchell Abram, ABC News, Darwin.
And time for the weather now, and tonight's weather pick from Casuarina Beach has been sent in by John Mason. And you can send us your weather photos to weatherpicsnt@abc.net.au. Scattered showers and storms across much of the NT today. It was sunny towards the south of the territory. It was 32 in Darwin and Woorolmiyunga. Zooming out, 34 for Katherine, 30 in Nhulunbuy and Jabiru, 32. Alice Springs reached 36, Yulara 37 and Tennant Creek 29. On the satellite, clouds over much of the Northern Territory, mostly clear skies for the south of the NT. Tropical moisture is being directed into a trough over the Gregory and Northern Barkly districts. The monsoon expected to arrive tomorrow could see heavy falls for about the northern 2/3 of the NT. Interstate tomorrow, windy with a shower or 2 for Hobart, Melbourne reaching 21. Clear skies for Canberra, a top of 30 for Sydney. Showers and a possible storm in Brisbane, Adelaide 25 degrees and Perth reaching a top of 39. Around the territory tomorrow, Alice Springs sunny and 37, 38 for Yuendumu, Tennant Creek rain and a possible storm. Further north, a storm and 31 in Katherine, rain for Borroloola and a storm for Bullman. And looking west, rain and a thunderstorm in Darwin tomorrow, headed for a top of 32. There's a flood watch in place of parts of the Northern Territory with flooding possible in areas of the Barkly and Carpentaria coastal rivers in the days ahead. A monsoon trough is expected to linger for much of the week, bringing showers and heavy falls. There's a morning high tide just before 8 o'clock and a low tide at 2:31 in the afternoon. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:19 and set at 7:13. And looking ahead, rain and storms for Darwin with the chance of some bigger falls due to the developing monsoon. And sunny and hot days are expected ahead for Alice Springs, with temperatures likely staying in the high 30s. That's ABC News for this Tuesday night. Thanks for your company and good night.